There's no question in my mind. He is the most electric pitcher in Major League Baseball. He has all the makings to be something really special. And I said this opening night when we went and Strider was starting, and I said, the reason why this makes it even more exciting is because you don't know if he's going to strike out 10 or 20. And last night was an example of what we're going to continue to get with Spencer Strider. I got to tell you guys, listen, I know many of you who have lived here for many years, and you went through the John Smoltz and Maddox years and Glavine, and it was amazing. I don't think they were this. I don't think they were this. And what I mean by that is the dominance that he showed last night. Now, you're going to say, well, it's the Marlins. You're going to see this a lot more as we move through the season, okay? And Mike, coming off of last year, he was the runner-up Rookie of the Year to the guy that plays on the Braves.
Right.
And he could have easily won it if you ask people, hey, from a pitching standpoint, this guy comes in and strikes out over 200 guys. Right now, he leads the majors in that category. And, Mike, he almost had a no-no last night.
Yeah, it was something, man. I didn't want to jinx it, but it was after. I think Mark Bowman was the first guy to jinx it from MLB Network. And then everybody kind of noticed. It was something, yeah, unfortunately, Matt Olson boots the ball at first base, and then later on he does give up a couple of, single to left. But it was, again, as you said, electrifying. That's why when you're in the battery and it's a Strider start, there's just a different kind of energy. And you and I have been there for those games last year. Heck, people wearing fake mustaches, women wearing fake mustaches because everybody's so juiced up because they love it.
The thing for me now is, and if I ask you this, and this is what I'm talking about, okay, and I don't know how long you've been a baseball fan, but there are certain pitchers, if they pitch, no matter if they were on your team or not, you said, I got to see what he's going to do. Randy Johnson was one of those guys. Pedro Martinez was one of those guys. Like, I wasn't a Red Sox fan, but when he pitched, I was like, I gotta see what he's going to do. He might strike out 15 today. That is Spencer Strider. And we could go down the list of excellent pitchers all the way back to the great Bob Gibson and say that is what made them the show. You had to see what was going on. Strider talked about his performance last night, guys, and if you missed it again, takes a no-hitter into the eighth inning, 13 Ks. He flirted with the perfect game. Here's what he said about his performance.
I'm just grateful that I made it that deep in the game, to be honest with you. I mean, to get through 4 without walking a guy to me is like, a good day. So, we threw strikes, attacked. Murph called a great game, and so when you do that stuff well, the little things, throw first strikes and that kind of stuff, it goes well usually.
Yeah, man. You and I always talk about the only beef you can have is sometimes the pitch count gets away from him because of so many foul balls. But last night, 81 of his 101 pitches were strikes. He was pitching not to contact, but to swings and misses, or just, obviously little flares and grounders. So it was just so much fun to watch. And hopefully, as we see Carl, as he continues to evolve, he's still such a young guy.
He is.
You said it, though. He's the dude. He is the show right now. He's the guy you come to see.
Dansby said this to us when he came in and talked about Strider, and that was, he's so cerebral. He's always thinking about pitching and how to approach it and, where he should attack guys. 69 pitches to retire his first 18 batters. Come on. 69?
Right. And while we're talking about it, I know we're going to spend some time speaking about last night's victory, but how about Sam Hilliard? How about Sam Hilliard, a guy that, again, how many people knew where he was from, what teams he had played on, what's his story? This guy is raking right now. And I know they talked about it last night on the telecast about, everybody makes an adjustment or something, get your head right, whatever you have to do. But I don't know if he can sustain this resurgence from, his time in the Rockies. But Sam Hilliard is putting on a hell of a show the last couple of weeks.
Well, I think he's also helping the Braves make an easy decision on Marcell Ozuna, who went 0 for 4 with 3 Ks last night and is hitting .078.
They're booing him now when he's on the on-deck circle. It's gotten that bad with Marcell Ozuna. I mean, Bo, our producer engineer, he works at the stadium, and they're literally booing him as soon as he sets his head out of the dugout.
I can hear from inside now.
Well, listen,
fans ready to move on.
Out,
yeah.
It's roaring.
But it's obvious. And listen, we are a smart fan base. Okay, we've had great baseball in this city for a long time. You know bad when you know bad. Okay, and so now it's everybody's realizing he's not doing anything to help this team, and Snit is doing what Snit has to do. As long as he's on the roster and they're cutting the check, Mike, they got to run him out there.
Right.
And they're running him out there, and now you're going to get to a point where the fan base, all right, is going to make this decision for the Braves. The Braves were right, well, we're not ready to move on yet. We got to get held. The fan base is like, boo, get this guy out of here. Yeah. And they're going to have to stop putting him in the lineup because it's detrimental to the team. That's what's going to happen.
$32 million, again, prorate, whatever this, how far are we in the season? So $30 million still in the hole. and you can't trade him unless you found some way of like lining the stars, Carl, and you take somebody's reclamation project to get him off the books. But I don't think Alex is in the mood for that. When you look at options you've got, yes, you got Little Deke in DH. Vaughn Grissom if Arcia comes back in DH. But certainly, you don't want to monkey around with this thing. Hilliard, you want. Imagine that outfield of Hilliard, depending on Rosario, depending on lefty righty. In some cases, it can work both ways. You got all sorts of options: Michael Money Harris and Acuna. And if Hilliard can stay at this clip, which has been really impressive.
Yeah, I like the fact that we're getting this production from various guys that we didn't expect it from. Pilar is another guy. 5 home runs, by the way, for the Braves last night. Back to Strider, though, Mike. You talked about jinxing it. I just think, guys, you start to sense something special is going to happen. And they asked him, were you talking to anybody in the 8th inning?
Yeah, we still did. I mean, normally when things are going that well and guys are seeing such few pitches, there's not as much to discuss. I mean, because things are going well, so we kind of know what to do. But, we conversed before each inning, and, yeah, I mean, I was aware. But, that's kind of cool. Cool to be there. Grateful for it.
So here's how electric Strider is. It's Dukes and Bell at Sports Radio 92.9 The Game. Follow us across social media, guys. He's Mike Bell, ATL. I'm at Put 'em Up. See Dukes, this radio show, Dukes and Bell 929. Follow the radio station at 929 The Game. And, of course, we're on Twitch at ATL 929 The Game and on YouTube at 929 The Game. Make sure you follow us and stay up on everything that's going on. Mike, Nolan Ryan has the longest streak in Major League Baseball when it comes to striking out at least 9. All right? Strider's done it 9 straight games. He's got a chance to do something that only Nolan Ryan has done.
Yeah, just set the new franchise record last night.
So that's special territory. And that is why I think we haven't seen this before.
He's a big-time player.
Oh, you tell me. Snit. Come on, 404-741-0929. It's our Solomon Brothers Diamond text line. We're going to talk more about the Braves as they continue their series. But last night was really cool. And if you tuned in late or you were watching from the start, you just felt like, okay, this might be the night. And then Mike said it. The era sets that off, and you go, ah! Right. But then he pitched just an amazing game.
Yeah, and I got into it. I was in the 4th inning. That's when I got over to that, and I was watching some other stuff, Rangers, and they blew it against the Devils. Freaking Devils. But, yeah, man, it was something to watch. And Rosario's home run to dead center was something, too. I mean, because it was kind of a cool night, and the ball didn't really travel, and that thing just kept going and going. So, Rosario, you got, as we said, there's just so many weapons. The only buzzkill right now is Ozuna. Here's the thing. It's not like it's a cancer in the clubhouse.
No.
I think the guys, it's not like the guys don't like him. He's a teammate, for better, for worse, for a number of years. And he in 2020, he had a great year. That's what got him the contract. But these guys, no one on the team. I've read some fan stuff. There's no attitude about that. It's simply he's an albatross around the club's neck because of the contract and the lack of production, and eventually they will just cut bait.
Brad says, guys, they're winning despite how horrible he is.
Right.
I wish we would just talk about the team, how good it is. He's not costing us any L's.
Right.
It's true. I can't say that he is, but he is a 0 in the lineup.
Right.
And so when you talk about last night, we got 5 home runs. Everybody else is hitting. The point is, at some point in the season, right, you would hope that would come alive, but it just hasn't. I know it's early, but that's part of the problem. Brad, appreciate it.
Cajun Bo just said in my ear, technically he is costing us games because he has a negative WAR.
That's true.
His wins above replacement are going the other way.